Lots of U.S. citizens and people with valid identification are getting caught up in the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. These individuals include Native American actress Elaine Miles. You might know her for her roles in The Last of Us or Northern Exposure or Smoke Signals. Elaine Miles says ICE agents approached her last month near a bus stop in Redmond, Washington, asking her for her ID. When Elaine Miles gave them her tribal ID, which is federally recognized, she says one of the ICE agents called it fake. Joining us now is Elaine Miles and Darren Thompson from Sacred Defense Fund, a Native-led nonprofit which helps advocate for Native rights and representation. Elaine, I'm so sorry this happened to you. What happened after he called your ID fake?
They just kind of kept arguing with me about it, and I kept telling them that it was from a federally recognized tribe in Eastern Oregon, and it's a federal ID, and only enrolled members can get those, because they kept saying anybody could make them. And I was like, that's not fake, it's a real ID.
Certainly ironic, somebody telling a Native American she's not necessarily in the country legally. In a statement to CNN, the Department of Homeland Security says, quote, allegations that DHS law enforcement officers engage in racial profiling are disgusting, reckless, and categorically false. Adding, quote, ICE was conducting targeted immigration enforcement traffic stops and encountered Elaine Miles driving a vehicle registered to an illegal alien. She was never arrested. Any claim that ICE questioned her tribal ID are false. ICE agents are trained to recognize tribal IDs and accept them as proof of status, unquote. That is the official government response. Elaine, what is the truth there? What is your response?
I even asked them, because they are federal, I asked them, I go, you're a federal agent, you should know the tribal IDs and the tribal rights that we have, the treaty rights that we have. And they all just kind of looked at me, and I keep saying, after I talk about it so much these last few weeks, I wonder if they were really, really ICE agents or just bounties, because I know bounties are being paid. And if they're going to hire these bounties, they should educate them on our tribal rights.
Elaine, they claim that you were driving a car registered to an undocumented immigrant. Is that true?
I was not driving. I was not driving. I was walking. And that's why I even said, what did I do? When they stopped me, I go, I didn't jaywalk because I used the crosswalk. So what did I do?
Are you aware of anything similar happening to any other Native Americans?
Oh yeah, ever since I've started talking about it, I've heard about many natives that have been stopped, and about 2 natives that were actually in those detention centers. And one of them was from Arizona, and it took a few weeks for her tribe to even find her in that detention center. And that's another thing I have an issue with, is why does it take so long for them to find them? What kind of paperwork do they keep, or do they just throw them in there and not take any kind of paperwork? Because why are they putting natives in there, you know?
Yeah, I would say. Darren, how often do you hear of situations where someone's tribal ID is not recognized, is called fake?
It's difficult to say, but it happens more frequently than we realize. And I think it's largely a result of lack of leadership and or transparency within the organization to emphasize that the use and issuance of tribal IDs is a real thing that has been negotiated with many tribes and the Department of Homeland Security.
And Darren, what advice do you have for other Native Americans who have gone through something like this or might go through something like this?
Sure. The need for legal representation is definitely always needed. There's a firm that you can look up called ICU Law, and there are attorneys that are on the clock that are ready and willing to help people stuck in this situation who are experienced with federal Indian law as well as the sovereignty that tribes retained, which benefits tribal members who have to go through an enrollment process to be enrolled in a tribe. So Indigenous people exist beyond the borders. However, Indigenous people who are born here and recognized by tribes is a unique political status here in this country.
Elaine, sometimes...
in the tribal identification.
Elaine,
as a result of that. Sorry.
Elaine, sometimes people in the White House, including President Trump, are known to watch this show. If President Trump's watching right now, what would you say to him?
I would say educate your federal agents about our treaty rights and stick to our treaty rights, because those were for us a long time ago and they are unbreakable.
Elaine Miles, Darren Thompson, thanks to you both. Really appreciate your time today.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.